wait here at the gas station. So she walked back to her car, looked through the car, see if she might have some kind of a container. She could get a little bit of gas, she could get her car going. All she could find in her car was a bedpan. And, you know, it might hold some gasoline. So she takes that to the gas station and she gets maybe a half a gallon of gas or whatever, walks careful back to her car. She's pouring the contents into her gas tank. And then there's this car goes driving by and there's two fellows in there and they were atheists. And they're gawping, they see this nun pouring the contents of a bedpan into her gas tank. The one atheist says to the other, he says, if that car starts, I'm turning Catholic. For this, I'm glad I was retired so I could enjoy
Right.
Getting together with the old guys. Well, 6 or 8 of us would get in a van, and Phil's wife would drive us from Rudin Farm up to where Phil lives, and he'd point out which tractors he wanted to go down the road to the show. And so we'd get to drive different tractors down and down to Rudin's farm and line them up. Yeah.
And where was that parade? Right here in town? Nichols?
No, right up there on Gaskell Road where the farm is. We'd take our stuff up right after breakfast there in the Saturday morning, along about 8:30 or whatever. Go up the road past the Rudin farm. Oh gosh, wasn't even a mile, I don't think. There was an empty field or something that people would let us use, you know.
Okay.
Neighbors that liked the Rudins and wanted to see tractors drove around, you know. So we'd go up in that empty field and kind of be ready. One fellow there would be getting the parade started, getting people lined up. He'd point out.
Get you all in order.
When we were to get in line and head down the road. Then we'd go slowly down the road past the farm, just a little past the farm. And they had a well-known fella, different ones from Owego or somewhere around that everybody knew, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And one was his last name was Gow. Gosh, we all knew who he was there lived in Owego. And he had a good voice to announce he didn't even need a microphone. He'd stand up on a stand like across the road and each tractor went by and he'd say some jokes about each of us drivers, you know.
Yeah.
And tell them which tractor.
Keeping it fun.
Yeah, and which tractor we were driving. The chairs would be lined up along both sides, you know, people would come just to, you know, to have a good
nice
morning.
Community event. Get everybody outside.
Yeah, they'd come early and have a nice breakfast all set up outdoors, you know. Everything you'd want for breakfast, they'd have ready.
Mm-hmm.
Just get in line and hold your plate and then fill it up.
So that would be a good draw right there.
Yeah. Everybody had time to finish their breakfast before the parade. And then as soon as we got by right where the homestead was, down the end of the first field there, we'd pull back in the field and line our tractors up for the day so people could just look them over, you know.
So they'd picnic and walk around the tractors?
Yeah. I had this John Deere A up there, oh gosh, several years right in a row. And the old Massey that's still in the shed there, we put both
Is
of
that the
them.
one pointing towards the corner?
Yeah, the one that's right in the middle inside there.
Okay.
And they're both narrow front tractors, so we could put both of them on Phil's
and back to front to front?
Yeah, front to front. You
Yeah,
could put
just
them by.
offset them.
You had to angle them a little driving on his slant back truck. Well, one year I started backing it up on They were just dry board platform trucks, you know.
Right.
And the old tires were dry. And I was backing it up and had the front wheels up on them, almost up as far as we wanted to get it. And you feel up quite high with that bed tilted, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden the tires lost their grip on that smooth old shiny boards, you know.
And the button probably spun around.
It went straight. I could keep it straight going, but it slid right back down. It wouldn't stay up on that.
Right.
And Phil was standing there watching and grinning, and I could steer it and keep it straight, so I see it wasn't going to stay on it off either. And so he says, well, we'll have to use the winch. See,
that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, it has a winch up on
the top of the trailer.
Yeah, where it tilts.
Yeah.
And so we hooked a winch cable on the back end of the old thing.
That's Brian's dream to have that type of trailer.
Yeah, we pulled it back up there and got her anchored so it's in the front end over to one side. And then I take the John Deere, I could drive that right on the back end, and you got to have the fronts within 4 inches of each other.
Mm-hmm. So they both fit on there?
Yeah, so they go by each other like that. And you start out with your 2 rear tires way over to this edge and angle the front end past the one that's on there, and then they end up right in the middle of the truck. And both hind wheels get on the platform. Then he tilts it back down again. Then you start putting the tie down straps. I got 4 or 5 of those. They're still out here in this
big
shed.
Heavy ones?
Yeah, they're about so wide that big nylon. Anchor them down good.
So the parade tomorrow go straight through town probably, or you're just gonna follow?
The guy told Louis, he said we would just use the back streets, kind of stay away from the main street, because there's a lot of traffic goes through that little village. And heavy traffic comes from Pennsylvania, comes down through there to get down here to the 4-lane. And so he says, whoever the guy was that was describing it to Louis, he said we would be using the side streets. Like, sounds sensible to me.
Yeah, 10:30 said.
Yeah, he said,
or so.
Said we'd meet up there about 10 o'clock. Up at the Kirby Park. And,
we'll have to get a good spot.
Yeah.
So you could open it up on all walls.
Fancy schmancy. I love it. Just get lightheaded playing it.
My coworker and I one day found one of these bus tickets. It was like $49 for the day to the Keys, and we thought, wow. It was a 5-hour trip. So we got up early in the morning, got on the bus, and we stopped and picked up all these retirees along the line, and got down to the Keys, and the guy was like 1 o'clock. He said, well, we're leaving at 5 o'clock. 4 o'clock, he only was there for a couple hours, so we took the conch train and we did our sightseeing. And finally, we looked at our watch and we thought, well, the bus will be leaving in 10 minutes. We better hurry up. So we went in and got a large thing of beer and a big piece of key lime pie because we hadn't eaten all day. And on the bus, I was drinking beer with key lime pie coming back. No one goes to Keys without having a piece of key lime pie. Right. So anyway, that was we got back.
I found a canned pie filling for a key lime pie. I did. It was on sale one time. There was a spot purchase that I brought in or something. I've got a can or 2 of it at home and I've never used it. But
buy one of those graham crackers for us already made.
one of Kim's also.
Like that. I don't know.
His name is Renee.
Kim's gonna retire, so we're gonna go together. I said, good. When you get those retirement years, you never know what's gonna happen. That was my dream. That's all I know. Good enough. He was perfect. What he wanted to do when he went to Orlando, which is less than a year and 4 years.
Sounds good for us.
One of your grandsons lives up in the Green Coast Spring.
Well, knowing Willie Nelson, it might be something there. Don't be too deep.
No, you've got another grandson that lives up near Jacksonville, right? To catch the 340 back, and then somebody else, she caught a ride. I think Paul Donnelly was on his way home. She'd catch a ride home with him. But she rode the train to him back every day. But Grandma, Mom's mom.
What's the Indian River?
The Indian River is a transport company. They transport liquids.
Florida.
But they, Grandma Irene talked about when she was a young woman before she was married. She was supporting herself, even.
I never even read that. Never saw.
You got a letter saying that
I guess they just made the arrangements but just so you know, it's somewhere try and get that picture out to the guys.
Oven 40 degrees for 6 minutes. When they get done,
yeah, we're walking.
that's the time to keep it.
Sitting right there, how'd you start? Just empty it at night. That's not the one.
He's gonna sing.
You're gonna sing this song.
What's he gonna sing?
Rocking chair. How's it start?
Rocking alone in the old rocking chair, I saw an old mother with silver hair. Rocking alone in the old rocking chair, her hands in real colors and old. A life of hard work, there is no way home. And I thought of angels on top of her bed, rocking alone in an old rocking chair.
Talking about, Eli just getting older, he's so busy and everything.
Oh, Karen, you blame it on the dog. I see.
Are we going home?
Sorry.
I'm surprised you're
Whatever will be with
on a roll, he was.
I don't know what's all
Yeah, there's not easy with three daughters ahead of it. I am gonna blame it on the dog, thank you.
It's good thing, well. Happy New Year.
The party's gonna
Merry Christmas.
There's a ton of tape on the
Oh,
Sorry, my fault.
you want to rip it?
Yeah, because I said, hey, don't rip the paper.
It's a challenge.
I might put this hot chocolate that used to be there.
They're like little credit cards.
I don't think that. Thank you.